Hey, what's up, everybody? And well, I feel like it's been like a long time. I took a quick break, a little break, a teeny tiny break, and I will get to that towards the end while I took that long break that I did. But welcome, everybody. I hope everybody had a fantastic holiday and will continue that throughout the New Year's. I hope everybody is healthy and doing well. You know what this is. This is Real Time with Prince Blue. I am the host, Prince Blue. That's what's on my birth certificate. And today I have a tonight I have a fantastic guest. And something that I told you guys that I wanted to do was I wanted to highlight people within the media, since I'm quote unquote media enemy number one, I guess I can say that. And I wanted to highlight not only media people, but people that's on the rise, people without blue checks, people that are behind the scenes and doing great things and making an impact, and especially women within the industry, because they get such a hard rap sometimes, from myself included. But I want to highlight the ones that are doing fantastic things and is making waves within the industry. And one of those people that I have right now is, I guess she needs no introduction. She is a photographer within the Philadelphia area for Philadelphia sports. She's taking pictures of everybody. The most famous one, I guess, would be Gritty. She's she is the owner of over 10,000 followers on Twitter. And why is that important? Because I said it is, god damn it, because this is what this show is. It's about social media people and doing good things. The one, the only Alex McIntyre. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you for being here. I always have to ask my guests. I always talk about how me and a guest actually cross paths. And if I'm not mistaken, you could correct me if I'm wrong. I think me and you, which a lot of my guests, we crossed paths because was I Anna Horford at the time? Anna
Yeah.
Hopford at the time?
Yeah.
And you was like, how are people falling? Like, what is this? I think I almost got you. Did I not?
No, you definitely got me. So you said something about like her feeling superior to other women in Philadelphia, and I got really heated about it, but then I was like, no way. And I thought it was my friend Fink at first, and I was like, is this Fink? And then he texted me, was like, Alex, that's not me. I like had no idea what was going on.
Yeah, well, first of all, gotcha. second, second of all, yeah, Anna Hopford got a lot of people, and I actually, it's a lot of truth and humor. And when I did that tweet, it was because, in my opinion, there is a certain stigma about women within the media in Philadelphia, and I was kind of feeling like, if an outsider can say something like that, like I'm above the women already, I'm already the most famous female in media in Philadelphia. I felt like they can say that because we don't have a lot, and they don't be highlighted enough, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
It's very male dominated. They feel like they know everything. And yeah, I'm gonna say it. Ain't no simp here. I'm just gonna tell you, the men in the Philadelphia media, well, some of them, they swear they know everything. They can't be wrong. They don't admit when they're wrong, and then that makes for shitty credibility. So when I see somebody like you who is navigating yourself through the media, you take pictures, you're around famous people, you do a lot of stuff. Um, Tell me, what about that tweet that got you heated, and what do you think about the landscape of women in the media within Philadelphia, or as in a whole, in general?
So one of my biggest things is always and will always be women supporting women. So when I saw that tweet, I am not the biggest fan of women who put down other women and they use that to make themselves appear like superior to others. I don't think that that is the best way to go through life. I don't think that's the best way to find allies. And I just don't think that's the best way to progress. So that's not even to speak to the media side of things. That's just in general, no matter what your career is, like I always believe that there's power in numbers, and women supporting women is the best way to improve upon your own career. As far as women in the media go, it is difficult because it is pretty slim pickings when it comes to women in the Philadelphia sports area. There are only a few that I know personally. I know there's a bunch out there that I haven't met before or probably haven't even heard of. That's just how it is. But there's a handful that I know that work closely in Philly. They do what I do, or they're just around where I work. And I see a lot of them, and I feel like they all do good work. I'm proud to have them as allies in my corner. To speak about the men in Philadelphia sports, I don't really have too much to say. I don't feel that they are like awful. I don't think they're bad. I don't have I'm indifferent to their point of views in a lot of things. To speak to men who don't often get too much camera time, a lot of the ones that are behind the scenes, that's where I kind of run into a lot of adversity. But as for the people that really tend to be the face of Philadelphia sports, including the men, I really don't have anything negative to say about them.
Well, I do, but it's not about me right now. But right, Terry says I'll say it. They're awful, and and you know what? She has a point. And no, men, trust me, I'm not bashing the ones that don't deserve it. I'm bashing the ones that do deserve it. And Doggy Howser, he wants to know who's awful. Who's awful? Elliot Shore Parks, Joe Giglio, that whole 2 to 6 crew over there, you know them. I don't want to say their name again. But the reason why they're bad, and this is my issue with media as a whole, Alex, is that you guys do get lumped in together, and that's fair, unfair. But when you say something, you're a photographer, right? So when you're doing something in your profession, you do have to be conscious of, okay, I'm representing my profession. So if I do something crazy, then they're going to say, well, all photographers are like that. And it's the same thing with the media. When you got these guys out here that's just swinging hot takes and all publicity is good publicity, it shines a negative light on everybody. And I feel like you can't say something crazy and then say, oh, not everybody, because it's too late. So my thing is, when you say I don't have anything to say bad about everybody, and I understand that, but I just don't like the fact that the media here, they seem to smell themselves a lot. And somebody like yourself who's coming up and doing your thing, or podcasters or other content creators, it's like you don't matter because you're not where I am. And that's not fair, because they had to start from somewhere. You have to start from somewhere. And just because you're not where they are, you don't have a big quote unquote corporation behind you, doesn't mean that your opinion and your information that you do or what you do isn't valid. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like amongst media, gatekeeping is a definite problem. My own personal experience, I haven't experienced too much of it from people that have been here much longer than I have, few and far in between. It happens. People get very defensive when they see new faces in a media room, but I personally haven't experienced too much of that. Everyone has been very welcoming and very warm about bringing me in, showing me the ropes, showing me how to get around, and all of that.
And that's good. And that sounds like, to me, you have some secure people that understand that, if Alex comes up that's a come up for everybody. And my issue is when you get the people that quote unquote feel threatened, and anything that they feel like anything that you do, you haven't quote unquote paid your dues or did or struggled like they did. And my thing is, why do you want people to struggle? Just because somebody doesn't struggle doesn't mean they're not going to appreciate um what they're doing. And we got one comment here from Karate Mark 215. He my man, good guy of the show. He said that no BS, is it cause you're a female? Do men get rougher treatment early?
No, that is so misguided. To think that women have it easy in a male-dominated industry is just a very absent way of thinking. We are spoken down to by other men that share similar job titles to us. We're often told that we walk around and we're there because we're attracted to the players or we have some type of ulterior motive. It's so much more than, oh, are you good at your job? Well, you haven't been grinding hard enough. It's everything is questioned. Every move we make is questioned because we're female.
And I do kind of get, because you could get it both ways, because I have talked to other women within the industry and they've said, yes, you do get some men that tiptoe around us. And then you do get some men that feel like, why are you even here? And they as you would say, I think y'all say it all the time. You be like mansplaining, like a man, like when y'all put something out there, a man is quick to say, well, that's because if you go left, right, scat back, then that's, and it's like, I didn't ask you all that. Like, you don't need to mansplain to me what's going on. Like, I put my opinion out there, and then that's what it is. So I do agree with that, but I also do think that it's just rough because it's such slim pickings out here for anybody within the industry, that any piece of lane that somebody feels like that you're about to impede on, they immediately feel threatened, then they try to shun you out. Now, I want to talk about, like, can you tell everybody, like, sort of what's the day-to-day thing? Like, what does Alex McIntyre do? Like, what is her job? Like, what does she do within the media?
So basically, like, day to day, a standard work day for me in a typical Flyer season would be I work my job either in the morning or at nighttime. Right now, I've been doing overnights for a little while. So if I'm on an overnight shift and I don't work that day, I head to the Flyers game typically around 4 o'clock. Takes me about 20-30 minutes to get there. So 4:30 arrival, get there, set up my little workstation in the media room, and then I will head upstairs, usually get a bottle of water or whatever from the press box. We usually get our shooting assignments at about 5:30. So I will roam around, maybe take some pictures of the stadium empty. If it's playoffs and there are t-shirts, chairs, like stuff like that, that's always stuff to photograph. Hockey fights cancer night, always stuff to photograph, like before the fans get in there. But that's really it. Like, I'll walk in, set up, get water, maybe a snack if I didn't eat, and then get my assignments, head to the main concourse to get, usually, so we can shoot wherever we want to for warm-ups. So I try to get a spot in the 14-15 hole because I feel like I can get a good amount of the players there. So I usually try to head there, and then after that, just go to each location, try to have my album up before the next morning for my publication to use.
Nice. And when you say your publication, who's the publication that you're with?
I work for Philly Sports Network.
Nice. Okay. So when you say you're like taking pictures of the players and things like that, what are those guys, are they conscious of you being there? Not not as in you, like as the photographer, but as you as a woman. So, like, do you feel them being guarded because you're around or anything like that?
Um, I wouldn't say that. We don't walk near them typically. Like, we don't walk near the locker room or anything like that. So, the only time that I really encounter them is they're probably about 15 feet away while like playing basketball or playing that volleyball game, whatever it's called. Uh, they're typically doing that during the meeting where we're all getting our shooting assignments. That's probably the closest off-ice encounter I have with them, unless I go into the locker room for post-game media. But then at that point, it's like after they've showered, changed, like they're about ready to go.
Okay. Um, is Gritty sexy in person?
Gritty, Gritty is a lot of fun. He likes to interact with the photographers a lot, and I remember I was shooting a Phantoms game, and it was for Melvin's birthday, and Melvin is the Phantoms mascot, and I was holding my camera up to my eye, and Gritty came up to me and was like hitting my head, like legit. He's a lot of fun. I don't know that I would throw the word sexy around, but he's definitely a lot of fun.
But women always say like personality is sexy. Like when y'all don't want to call a guy ugly, you be like his personality is wonderful. Like what does that even mean? Like when we ask women like what did you first notice about a guy? Like y'all be like his personality. Like you're lying. Like you don't notice anybody's personality when you meet them. So oh we got Big T Will says he loves Alex's work. She won't remember, but we met down under the tunnel with security guard Jack.
I don't remember.
You can't miss him. He's a black guy. You can't miss him. He's a black guy.
Is this at Flyers games?
Probably a Sixers game. Big T Will he's huge Sixers guy. Sixers fan.
I don't have the potential to shoot the Sixers yet.
Oh, what? Well, we got to get on that. You got to
get
on it. We got to get on that. So, what do you're also, besides being a photographer, you're also first of all, he said it was the Flyers. What is a black man doing at a Flyers game?
Hockey for everyone.
Hockey's for what?
Everyone.
How many black people you seen at a hockey game? Tell the truth.
I don't count. That's terrible.
Listen, you got to count. Anything above 10, be near an exit because it's going down. That's black people 101. Listen, this is real time Prince Blue. I'm telling you, if you count more than 10 black people and they start running towards the exit, Alex, run with them, okay? Like run, because we runs. We don't play. You know how like in scary movies, how white people be like, oh my God, I need to see where that noise came from. You've never seen a black person die in a horror movie. We don't play that shit. So I'm just telling you. But so tell me what you had. Obviously, you shoot the Flyers, so you had a great time this year because they made the playoffs, and it's a lot to look forward to on this team. So tell me what was the best thing about this year covering the Flyers?
The best thing has to be, honestly, that I was even approved to get in. This was my first season shooting them, and I actually walked in. My first day there, I walked in, and I was just like, this is happening. Like, this is probably my biggest goal to date, like, was to shoot the Flyers. I've only been a photographer for just under 3 years now. So for that kind of progress, like, it's really great for me to feel confident in myself that way. Walking into the building, I was like, this is what I've been waiting for. I grew up a huge Flyers fan, so that was really important to me.
And that's what I'm talking about, because here, like you work towards that your whole life and you got it. And already I feel like if a younger Alex walks up to you and it's like, how can I do this? I'm pretty sure you would you would take that person under their wing and you will show them, you know, hey, this is how you do it. This is how you act. This is what they look for, and that's all that I want to see. Like you said, going back to stop it. Like going back to when you encounter somebody or you encounter anything in the media and bringing people under your wing. And like you said, women is slim pickings. So when you see other women talk about other women within the media, it's like, hey, we already are, considered emotional. We use our looks to get to where, so we can't be fighting and arguing, on the outside. We got to show unity. And it just seems like I don't see a lot of that. And I was wondering, what's your take on why you don't see a lot of women supporting each other when it comes to, I mean, you see it like on Twitter, like between the blue checks, they be like, "You go, girl," blah blah. But some of that, I'm telling you, it seems so phony to me. Because I promise you, probably if they can push them off a cliff to get another spot, they will do that. So, what is your impression of stuff like that?
I think pretending to be there for a newcomer is probably one of the worst things you can do. It's hard to find people you can trust in the industry that won't stab you in the back. But there are real, genuine people that want to help you out there. I've encountered a couple working in the Flyers and the Phantoms. The Phantoms were actually all of the photographers outside of the team photographers. There are 2 males, and sometimes it interchanges with other people, but primarily it's 2 males, and the rest of us are all female. That's a really great atmosphere to walk into, and we're all there. We're all having the same job, but there's no competitive energy between us. We all want to see each other create the best we can, and we love seeing what each other does, and we love helping inspire the other person. I remember, so the Phantoms in the AHL, there's a teddy bear toss. I don't know if that's all over the league, but I know that there are a couple teams that do it. In the teddy bear toss, it's in the first quarter, or like whenever the first goal is, everyone in the stands is encouraged to launch like a stuffed animal onto the ice. And all of those stuffed animals are donated to children, and it usually happens around Christmas time. It's a pretty sweet thing. I remember I had a really good location, but for the first period, but as we were talking, everyone was like, okay, if there's no goal and I'm up, can I come down? Can I stay here? Can I do that? Just to make sure that, because we don't get to walk on the ice often, but when that happens, all the photographers book onto the ice. So just to ensure that all of us were able to find our own place and make sure we were able to get our shots for our publications. Like, we all support each other. That's not something you see when jobs are a lot more hard to come by in higher level sports.
Okay, so who's the most famous person that Alex McIntyre had? What was your holy shit? That's blank. What was that moment?
Philly's gonna hate me for this, and anyone that likes hockey and is in Philadelphia will be like, why? But I do have to say that when I shot the Flyers versus Penguins game, my biggest oh shit moment was Sidney Crosby. It really was. I feel like regardless, if you like hockey, you know Sidney Crosby, he's a generational talent. There's few and far in between that come like Sidney Crosby. And he's going to be in history books forever. He's going to be on the internet forever. People are going to be searching him forever. And to think that someone could search Sidney Crosby in 20 years and one of my photos is going to come up is crazy.
Listen to me. I'm a black man. And even I know Sidney Crosby is persona non grata in Philadelphia. I don't care how good he is. We just can't. But no. But I understand. Sidney is so polarizing here, and I've asked people multiple times why is Sidney Crosby, like, why don't you like him? And I think it comes down to him he's just so good, and he's not here. I mean,
No,
that's
it's
just,
definitely far beyond that. In interviews, he has said, like, explicitly, I don't like anyone on the Flyers. He has said that the Flyers are cheating in games. He has said a lot of bullshit. But outside of that, he's like just one of those big names right now. And it was literally just the thought, like, this is a generational talent that people are going to be Googling forever, and I'm about to take photos of him in his prime.
see, even now, my boy Richard Crosby still can hold Gretzky's jock. They just can't get on board with Sid the Kid, man. You just can't bring him up. But Alex, let's talk about let's go outside of sports. Let's talk about Twitter, because that's where you are. You have a huge following. I mess with you all the time about it. You have over 5,000 more than me. That's okay. I'm trying to expand my Twitter following. I don't know if the parody accounts help because people are unfollowing and following. Um, what's the best thing about Twitter, and what's the worst thing about Twitter?
The best thing about Twitter definitely is the networking aspect. I've met a lot of people through Twitter. I've booked a lot of gigs through Twitter. I had that whole Mike Scott encounter via Twitter. Like, if you, like, everything that happens through Twitter for me. That's where I found most of my success, most of my networking, most of my partnerships. All of it happens via Twitter for me. The worst thing about Twitter is probably cancel culture. Cancel culture is a big one. And I would have to say people who hold a superiority complex, and people who are not welcoming. I feel like Twitter is a place that it welcomes conversation. And if you don't welcome conversation, if you're putting your thoughts out there and don't want to hear what other people have to say, you're on the wrong forum.
Okay, so I'm a follow up all three of those. Let's start with the cancel culture part. What is it about the cancel culture that you don't like, Alex?
I don't like when people find tweets from 10, 20, 30 years ago and cancel someone over it. I think that is ridiculous. Was this person an adult at the time? That changes things a little bit. But I also sit here and think, like, do you really have nothing better to do than go back 10 years of this person's tweets to find if they possibly said something bad? I feel like if this person was an adult at the time and was consciously saying something they knew was hateful, then that changes things. They should be canceled.
I'm going to tell you why cancel culture has its place. Because, like, we could say, like, anything, like, for example, this whole election process, I'm glad it's over because you had a lot of phony people saying things, supporting things, and they, like, for instance, Jamel Hill said, if you vote for Trump, or you're a racist. And then somebody found a tweet where she said her mother voted for Trump. So people was like, so, you know, you're back, but your own mama. And like every time she says something, we're now looking with the side eye. We're like, bruh, like, what's going on? So, cancel culture has its place because I think sometimes it's nothing worse than a phony person. Now, I get it. People can change, and what you say at 18, 19 may be different than what you think at 31. But it's the pattern. Like, if people find a pattern, like, then we're like, it is what it is.
And I absolutely agree with that.
Now, the second one was you said that you didn't like. I mean, you didn't like. No, you do like the networking and that aspect of it, but you don't like the superiority complex. And I would like for you to expound on that because there are some people, one guy in particular, Eitan Shander, that every time he gets in an argument with somebody, he'll say, well, dude, you got 10 followers. Why am I even talking to you? Just because somebody has 10 followers doesn't mean they doesn't have anything prominent to say. They may have just hopped on and said something that day, or they're just not on all the time like you, me, or yourself. Number two, when you said that people like some people actually do say something, like somebody would be like, oh man, like I hate my life, like I hate the way things are, like why are people such, and then somebody answered, then they'll be like, well, who fucking asked you? And I'm like, you tweeted it on a public forum, you didn't expect nobody to say anything. Nobody. And I'm trying to figure out, like you said, like, why do you think that is? Why do you think somebody would tweet something and then don't expect a response? Like, legit, why won't they expect a response?
Sometimes I feel like the responses that we receive are like misguided. People will just say things to hear themselves talk. I can't tell you how many times people challenge me over dumb shit all the time on the internet. I tweeted the dumbest argument I ever got in. I tweeted, it was during the election. Oh, I said, I'm stress eating Aussie fries from Outback. And someone was like, you do know that food from Outback is not actually Australian, right? Like, what? So in that aspect, it's like, okay, dude, like, what are you really saying right now? People will literally fight me over anything. And I literally screenshotted the Outback menu. It was like, they are called Aussie fries. I'm so sorry. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Some people legit just like arguing. Like, they like being miserable. Like somebody will be like, I want the Eagles to trade Carson Wentz, and you'll be like, okay, yeah, I agree, trade Carson Wentz. But then who's going to be the quarterback, you dumbass? I'm like, bro, like I don't understand. You said trade him. I agree with you. Now you're mad because I agree with you. So do you want a solution or you just want to argue? Like, tell me. I would rather you say, hey, I really want to debate this topic, so please debate me, versus snapping at me because I gave you a response.
I think it's like hot and cold on what you should reply to and what you shouldn't. I think if someone just seems to be spewing ideas out into the universe and it doesn't affect your day to day, like, who cares? Just let them say what they want to say. If you're tweeting something, like, so if I were to tweet, yeah, the Eagles should trade Carson Wentz, someone's going to say something about it. I should fully expect some type of reply. So it's like, to tweet something like that and be closed off to the conversation is what I don't understand.
I'm gonna tell you what I don't like, but it is people's right. Like, people, like when I told you the people like the ESPs and shit like that of the world, they tweet stuff out and then they don't answer. Like, they just tweet the takeout and then people are like, hey, expound on this. What do you mean? Like, some people, like, legit, instead of course coming at them and cursing them out, some people be like, hey, A B C D E F G. It be legit. And the person won't answer, or they won't expound on it. And I'm like, so did you just put that out there because you're like, hey, I'm gonna put that out there and it's gonna be a landmine, it's gonna be a grenade on Twitter? Or do you legit want to debate it and talk about it? And it bothers the shit out of me, like, when people do that. And I know sometimes you can be yelling into a void because you like, I want them to respond, I want them to respond. And for the most part, I think I'm pretty good at getting people to respond to me when I say something to them. You just got to know where to hit them. But certain guys like that, like, I don't like that type of media right now where you have a large platform and you're quote unquote for the fans and you speak for the fans and you say something like that, but you don't interact with the fans. Then I'm like, what are you actually doing?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's difficult to always interact with the fans. I can't really speak for other people's experiences, but not to bring it back to the gender thing. But being a female, like, we do run into a lot of like mansplainers and it's like not even worth a reply at that point. I don't remember what I had tweeted. It was in regard to like a catch, I think. Or it was like a flag that I thought should have been a flag and they should have challenged or something like that. And I ended up like having to screenshot the rules of the NFL and show them to someone because he was mansplaining. And I was like, I promise you, I'm not tweeting things that I don't understand. I'm not just tweeting to see what sticks. People do that. I don't know. I'm not really sure. I don't, because I don't want to look dumb. But as people do it.
But you know what, Alex? It's okay if you tweet something and you make a mistake. Like, that's what I like. Like, you know, I say bad shit all the time, you know, where I'm like, hey, you know, such and such is going to have a good game, about 300 yards, blah, blah. And if I'm wrong, I'm like, damn, I was wrong on that shit. My homegirl, Reem Noor from West Windsor Plainsboro High School South, the real West Windsor Plainsboro High School, go Pirates. That's my homegirl. She said, right, we don't know anything because we have vaginas. And I feel like sometimes that's literally just what it boils down to. A man may think you don't know shit because you have a vagina. Even shit that pertains to a woman that a woman should know about, a man will still tell y'all don't know what y'all talking about.
Yeah. It happened.
So, and that, tell me, because me as being Anna Hotford, Liv Simmons with the D, and all these other female parody accounts, my DMs be on fire. All right, so like, congratulations, you stupid ass married men out there. You DM'd a grown ass 270-pound black man. Stupid asses. So dumb. Like, can I take you out for dinner? Yeah, I like to eat, but I'm a man. Stupid. God. They so stupid. Like, man, listen, I can rock the very foundation of Twitter with the DMs that I've received from not only common people, famous people as well. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Now, stop DMing 270-pound black men telling them you want to take them out on dinner. Read the goddamn ad, you stupids. But my DMs be on fire. So, Alex, tell me, you don't have to name names, but tell me, what does an Alex DM look like?
They are all over the place. My DMs are they're colorful. I'll say colorful. They go from, hey, like, I would really like to talk about your life. Like, can you offer any tips? To, hey, I really want to do inappropriate things to you without your consent.
That was so sweet how you tried to fix it. I really want to do inappropriate things to you. Now, do they tweet, I want to do inappropriate things to you, Alex?
No, it's usually pretty aggressive.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I try to avoid it. Everything sits in my DM requests, but I read everything that I get. I don't answer much of anything at all.
Now, tell me the one thing that everybody has it, because I'm telling you, I could say I'm gonna ignore something all day, but sometimes somebody just tweets or DMs you something that's so incredibly stupid or off kilter that you just gotta respond. Give me an example of that with you.
One time I definitely tweeted something along the lines of "men are stupid," and someone DM'd me and said, "You're never gonna get married if you keep tweeting men are stupid." And I was like, okay, like, thank you. Men are stupid. Marriage is the last thing on my mind at the moment. Like, I don't want to marry anyone at that given time.
Was that person that, you know what? First of all, okay, I like where this is going. Why do you feel like men's ultimate insult is like, you'll never get a man by the way that you are?
I don't know. I have no idea. They love to like, it's like a manipulation game. Like they want to make you feel like so empty and like alone so that you'll cling to like a loser that's DMing you hateful things. Like,
Deep, deep,
well, like
deep, Alex.
if you're gonna DM me and be like, oh, you're never gonna get married because of XYZ, but then the DM before that is, hey, like I'd really like to get you a coffee. It's like, I don't know what you're looking for here.
They want to be that slump buster. Do you know what a slump buster is, Alex?
No.
Okay. A slump buster is a male or female that broke the slump of another person's whatever. So, like, if that person hasn't been with anybody for a long time, sometimes they just want to be like, you know what, I need to get one out the way because it's been a while. And they'll seek out a slump buster no matter how they look, no matter how they sound. They may be the most grotesque person you may ever spoken to, but they going to break that slump. So, sometimes, listen, sometimes people be hoping that they could be somebody's slump buster. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, more power to them. Like if that's the highest you think of yourself is to be someone's slump buster, have the best time.
Now, will Alex date anybody within the industry?
No.
Now, women say that all the time. And I don't know if you've seen my tweet about Batman when he turned down Wonder Woman. Cause kind of it's like, I guess the Justice League is a job. That's your employer. So Batman's like, you never sleep with anybody within the team. And then he goes around all this thing. But do you ever feel like you're going to miss out on something because of a rule that's not messing with somebody within the industry?
I mean, maybe. I don't really think that way. Personally, it's just not something I would ever do just for the sake of the fact that it will look worse for me than it would for the man. It would always look like I am dating to get ahead and to get access or to get whatever. So it's not even worth it. Basically, my whole career goes on the line for a relationship, and that's not worth it.
I understand that. I wasn't even thinking about that, to be honest. I was thinking more of, like, if you date somebody within the media, then they're going to understand you're going to be around players. You're going to be sometimes in positions to where, you're going to have to navigate your own self out of, and you're not going to have a white knight there to save you or things like that. But I do understand your part, because the moment you are with somebody, they're like, that's why she got the Flyers pass and blah blah blah. So you know what, I do get that. And that was crazy to me that I wasn't even thinking that way. I was thinking more like, if you date somebody within the industry, they'll know what you're going through. They'll know, like, if you're hitting that glass ceiling or you're hitting that ceiling, they're like, hey, keep pushing, I know what you're going through. Versus Joe Schmo, who's like sells insurance, and you come home like, Sidney Crosby told me I can't take his picture, I'm upset. And he's like, well, I tried to give a lady insurance today and she told me get off her porch. And you're like, you don't get me at all. So that's more I was coming. But you know what? That's a very good point. And I guess I gotta stop thinking more of, because even I get caught on it sometimes, like on Twitter, like when I see a man like jumping on a woman, or I feel like he like, dude, like, what are you doing? But I've been caught off guard sometimes when I just see the next tweets, that woman is like giving it to him. I'm like, well, then I don't need to get into this then. Like, she got it. She got it. So, but it is hard, when you see sometimes, because if you look at the TL, you see it sometimes, like, a woman can't mess up. Like, she can't be halfway attractive, because that's going to be the number one reason why she has that job. But I will tell you this. It doesn't help when I do see an attractive woman and I can tell she doesn't know shit about what she's covering. Like, it's like, what are you talking about? Like, that's not it. That's not right. So how can somebody like me navigate that when you see blatant like, dog, she doesn't know what she's doing. Like, I don't want to come off as a bully, but I do believe that if that's your job, you should kind of know what you're talking about.
It's difficult. It is definitely like a blurred line to kind of tread on. I feel like men or women, there are a lot of people, not even in Philly, just all over the place that are employed, and they are definitely running the pretty privilege train. But I mean, do I feel like everyone needs to be called out for their mistakes? Not necessarily. If it's becoming like a very visible pattern that you're just not aware of what's going on, maybe just like in the nicest way possible, be like, you're dumb. I don't know.
I mean, listen, I think everybody know who the people I'm not a fan of within the city or the media, and I made it pretty clear. But it's because like when I see somebody like you tweet something, or I see D Lynam tweet something, or I see Babes on Broad tweet something that's meaningful, something that it has teeth, like it's like, okay, they know their shit, versus somebody that giggles and like, ha, Gritty's the best thing ever. And I'm like, but what about the actual hockey game? Like, what did you see? I saw Gritty throw t-shirts. And I'm like, okay.
All I can think about that honestly is just like the people you just named, like just follow your credible sources, and like avoid, like if you see someone spewing bullshit, just throw them an unfollow.
It's so hard because you be wanting to end their Twitter lives. But okay, so tell me, what does Alex do for fun? What does Alex do?
What do I do for fun? This year has been really difficult, obviously, but I've been trying to get out a lot, photo-wise. I haven't had a lot of opportunity to take sports photos, so I'm trying to expand my horizons and take photos more for me than for work, just to kind of remember why I fell in love with photography.
Okay.
Outside of that, like in a normal non-pandemic day, I'm a huge fan of tailgating. You will catch me at Xfinity Live just about every Sunday that I'm not working. That whole situation is my scene, and that's where I get a lot of my followers from. I love walking around the tailgates, and they're like, "That's the photo girl. That's the picture girl." I'm like, "Yeah, that's me." I love tailgating. I love hanging out with my friends. Getting any ounce of free time to spend with friends and family is really the most like therapeutic for me. So I think that's probably the most fun. And then hanging out with my dog.
What kind of dog you have?
I have a corgi.
What the hell is a corgi?
Like one of them ones with the fluffy butts.
See, black people know 3 dogs: Rottweiler, Pit Bull, Chihuahua. That's the 3.
So a corgi has like Chihuahua ears, but it has longer hair and it's bigger.
Why do white people love dogs so much?
I don't know. I don't
What is it? What is it? Like they be at the table, they be eating at the table. Like sometimes the dogs have better food than the humans, and I'll be like, "What the fuck?" You be like, "This pot smells good. What is this? That's not for you. Get your hands off of it. That's for Chow Chow. Come here, Chow Chow. Come get your dinner. Where's my dinner? It's in the microwave. Heat it up." Like, what the fuck? Like, what can I?
I do that. I do make Calvin scrambled eggs sometimes.
So the dog's name is Calvin, and you make him scrambled eggs. Would you scramble your boyfriend eggs?
Yes. Yes. I went to culinary school. I can cook.
What? See, now we're getting somewhere. A woman who went to culinary school. Don't you feel like that was like doing extra? You was doing the most?
No, because I actually throwing it back to my childhood that ended 5 years ago. I went to high school I went to a trade school because I didn't like my hometown school. So I went to Gloucester County Institute of Technology in South Jersey. But when I was changing schools, I didn't really know what I wanted to go there for. And I was like, can't hurt to know how to cook.
Well, look at you. You hear that, men? She cooks, she takes photos, and she scrambles eggs. There you go. Okay, so how many black friends do you have?
How many black friends? I don't know that I could count.
Oh, are there more than, does it take two hands?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I'm just making sure. If you would have said three, I would have had to end the interview. I'm like, damn, like she ain't expand like that. Now they ain't like people like on TV, right? Like real black friends.
What do you mean people on TV?
Like some white people, they'll be like, yeah, I got three friends. Like I like Martin Lawrence, Will Smith, and I'm like, who
No,
you
no,
real black friends?
people.
Like give me names. Who your friends? Allen Iverson, Doc Rivers. Like you ain't got no black friends. Okay, so that's good. Cool. So tell me, like, what is something that you're trying to do in 2021? Pandemic gone. Everybody, whatever. If you get vaccinated, not get vaccinated, I don't give a shit. 2021, going forward, everything clean slate. What are you trying to accomplish in 2021?
I would like to get in with the Sixers by next fall. That's my next targeted team. I don't know that that's going to happen, but I'm going to keep grinding and keep trying to work with what I can. I do a lot of work for the Mike Scott app right now, so I'm hoping that my connection there will help with my name. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Mike Scott.
He's a great guy. He really is.
Okay. Mike Scott app. What is the Mike Scott app? Come on. Tell us. What is
He has his own app. It's developed by actually someone else named Mike, and they
Mike.
basically it's like the Mike Scott Hive. I don't know if you're like familiar with the Mike Scott Hive.
Are you serious right now?
Some people aren't.
Okay, go ahead. If there's a Mike Scott Hive, I'm the guy with the flamethrower outside.
You can't do that. I'm in the Mike Scott Hive.
Well, I'll call you before I'm about to put a flame to it so you can get out on time. But go ahead.
Mike Scott Hive or the Mike Scott Hive app. Basically, like there's a game on it. You can buy like Mike Scott merch on it. If he's throwing any events or anything like that, they let us know through the app, and then I take photos of the events, and they're published on the app.
Well, look at you. Can you see the comments?
Yes.
Oh, shit. Brett, get out of here. Oh, shit. Brett, get out of here. Oh, that's my brother, Brett. Don't mind him. He's a little off. he forgets sometimes that it's not DMs. It's public.
It's okay.
Okay. So 2021, you say you want to get. So when you say you want to get the Sixers, why not? Like, give me some of the goings on. Why does some of the idiots that do have a press pass don't need one? Like, why doesn't my girl Alex have one? Sixers.
There's an application process, and there are photographers that have been going there forever. There is limited shooting space. So for new photographers to get in, it's not easy. There has to be some like availability, some room, just so that I have a location to shoot from.
You hold the camera. The fuck you mean it has to be room? The Wells Fargo Center is this big. What do you mean it's not room? I could take my iPhone and snap a picture. Like, come on, that's bull. I know you're trying to be politically correct. Listen here, Sixers. I know you may not be listening. Somebody's listening. Listen, you got a smart up and comer here who's very passionate about what she does. She's going to always take pictures in the best light. Make it happen, Sixers. Like some of those people that's about to kill over, that's in their spots, they need to get out of the way and make room for some of the new blood. It's nature. Like it's always a new lion trying to take out the old lion. That's fine. But listen, y'all got people out here that's just really passionate about the Sixers and want to shine a good light. So speed that application process up. Now, if Alex was now we're getting into the good stuff. If Alex was dating a guy, right? What's 2 things he must have and 2 things he cannot have?
Like, are you talking traits or like physical items?
It can be anything you want.
He has to have a
physical items. Physical items.
He's got to have a job, and he has to have
in 2020.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
He has to have a job, and he has to have a drive to want to better himself if he's not confident in the position he's in. He has to have, like, he has to want to succeed, and he has to want more for himself. That's very attractive to me.
That personality shit again. Give me the physical items a man must have. He must have drive.
I don't know. I'm not
No.
You can ask,
real time with Prince Blue.
Ask any of my friends. I do not have a type. None of my exes look alike. My current boyfriend doesn't look like the rest of my exes. Like, I don't have a type. I'm not like a physical attractive person. I'm a very big like vibe person. So if we get along, so you
have to have personality and drive.
Yeah.
So you do see personality. Ain't this about a bitch? Ladies and gentlemen, the first woman in the history of the world really does see personality when it comes to a guy.
I do.
Vibe. But okay. All right. I guess I'm gonna let that slide. So yeah. Anyway. Tell me something. Tell me a pet peeve of yours.
My biggest pet peeve is I have a lot of pet peeves. One that jumps out at me, like a minuscule one that bothers the shit out of me, is when I'm driving on the highway and I'm about to pass the person in front of me. We're in the right lane and I'm about to get in the left lane. And they get in the left lane just to go the same speed as the person in front of them in the right lane.
Alex is a road rager, huh?
I am. Especially if I'm running late, which 10 out of 10 times I'm running late. I hate that. What else? When my dad leaves like less than a glass of orange juice in the container and puts it back in the fridge, just drink it. Just drink it and bring it out.
Time out. You ain't gonna be talking about that like that. Listen, as somebody who drinks from the carton, you may just be full before that last swallow is left. So, I mean, what do you want me to do? At least I'm being considerate. I'm leaving you a swallow. Drink the damn swallow. I mean, I don't understand. Like, why do we have to drink the whole thing? Like, come on.
No.
No.
It just takes up space in the fridge.
I mean, we'll just drink it and throw it away.
Extra.
Okay. What is Alex's favorite food?
Chicken parm.
Chicken parm?
Yeah.
Come on, man. That requires work. What is it about the chicken parm?
Chicken parm is like a very like big staple in my diet growing up. Like we've always had Italian food around. My mom always made chicken cutlets one day, and if we had leftovers, it was chicken parm the next day. If we were ordering out, chicken parm. If we went to a diner, chicken parm. Like I love chicken parm.
Now your last name is McIntyre.
Yes.
So who's Italian in your family?
My mom's last name is Ruggiero.
Your dad's last name is McIntyre. So
Yeah.
he's Scottish,
He's Irish.
Irish. So damn. So y'all could drink and eat in that family, huh?
Yes, we can.
So, and I was talking to somebody about that. I told somebody, like, listen, you may or may not know, but Black people Thanksgiving ain't no joke. Like, we gets it in. But I would tell people every day, there is nothing like an Italian Thanksgiving. Because
Oh,
you get all the American stuff, then you get all the old world stuff. Like, I I legit don't make fun of fat Italian people because it is what it is. It is what it is. Can you explain to us an Italian Thanksgiving?
so an Italian Thanksgiving is pretty ridiculous. My mom usually starts with, I think everyone calls it, like, the popular thing right now is like a charcuterie board. Right now, like, we literally do pepperoni and cheese on a plate. Like, we don't, that's too much. It's usually pepperoni, supersat, and prosciutto on a plate with Colby Jack cheese. My dad likes this horseradish cheese, which is disgusting. And there's another one. Maybe like Swiss cheese cubes, and then we have mozzarella pearls and olives, roasted red peppers. I think that's everything. Oh, and crackers. That all just sits on the table. Once my mom's ready to start serving dinner, then we do ravioli. I don't like ravioli, so my mom makes spaghetti. We do meatballs, sausage, and then depending on the situation, my dad's like a lasagna whore, so my mom makes a lot of lasagna. So there might be lasagna involved. After that, then we get to like your traditional Thanksgiving foods. So we have turkey, mashed potatoes, corn, stuffing, mac and cheese, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, biscuits. We have biscuits and rolls because my grandma doesn't like rolls. Or I don't know if she doesn't like them, but she prefers biscuits, like the Grands ones.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And
Go
then
grandma.
there's gravy. There's usually 2 types of stuffing because my mom likes this apple cranberry stuffing. I think that's everything. And then after that, we just do pie, cake, cannolis, cookies. Yeah. That's about everything.
I told people, listen, Italian Thanksgiving, man. I had a friend in middle school. He was Italian, and I still probably haven't passed half the shit through that I've eaten at that place and things. Like it was just, and if people don't know, Italian families are just like old Black Southern families to where you can't say no thank you.
Yes.
There is no thank you.
Oh, I forgot salad. Sorry, go ahead.
That shit out of here. You want it's like when an Italian mother says blue ravioli, she's not asking, she's telling you, here's ravioli, son. Here's ravioli. Spaghetti, here's spaghetti. She's not looking for a no thank you. She's just letting you know, I'm about to put this on your plate. Move whatever you got to move over because you're getting this. You just can't tell Italian people no. You can't. You have to eat it. Even if you waste it, like you gotta eat it. Because they understand you're gonna have like 10 other meals. So they're like, okay, just takes a little bit and then boom back. Now, one thing I want to know, why do white people put food in a serving dish and then serve it? Like Black people, we scoop from whatever it's in and put it on a plate and we eat. Why do y'all waste dishes?
I prefer not to. I always buy those tin things from the dollar store to cook in. My mom will literally scoop it out of that and put it on a serving dish. Every time I ask her, I always get yelled at. It's usually like, shut up, that's the right way. Like, I don't know what the right way means. But I'm not really sure.
And I'm sorry I'm putting all the fate of white people in your hands, but listen.
That's okay.
It's a big responsibility, yo. It's like when people be like, they be like, yo, why do black people like Popeyes? I was like, I got an answer. Like, I mean, I'm here. Like, we just like it. It's crispy. It's different. It's cooked done. It's consistent. That's it. Simple as that. So, Alex, this has been phenomenal. I appreciate this so much. I had so much fun. This was great. Can you tell the people where they can find you and what you have cooking coming up?
So you can follow me on Twitter at Alex E. McIntyre. And you can follow me on Instagram, Alex McIntyre Photos. Facebook is Alex McIntyre Photos also. Hopefully, I'm going to have some Flyers content coming up soon. If not, I will definitely have some lacrosse photos coming up in April. I do 2 teams in the National Lacrosse League, and then the Outdoor League will be happening this summer. So worst case scenario, starting in the spring, I will definitely have some lacrosse photos, but on Facebook and Instagram, you'll always see my family photos as well. Those are all the projects I have working.
Speaking of lacrosse, let me tell you something about lacrosse. Lacrosse is very underrated. And I'm going to tell you why lacrosse is underrated. Because, listen, if you, in high school, if you was a guy and you needed a date, go to a lacrosse game. You know why? Because ain't no other guys there. You're the only guy in the stand. Like, go lacrosse team, go. And they're like, hey, there's a guy in the stand, y'all. I wonder if he's single. So that's just a little tip to you guys. Just learn a little bit about lacrosse and bring it up. And then I'm like, oh my God, you watch the game? I do partake in the lacrosse, yes. And then boom, you're good to go. Hey, listen. Prince Blue ain't gonna lie to you. I'm telling you. But why I got you on let me ask you this, Alex. What do you call, what is your definition of selling out? What is a sellout to you?
Selling out, I would say, is setting your own boundaries, and then later crossing them for your own personal gain. Like, for instance, I'm really good friends with Heather Barry, who is another Flyers photographer. I would never, ever do anything to get in the way of her job at Broad Street Hockey, and then I would consider selling out. Like, say they offered me less money than her, I would consider that selling out if I took that job.
Bingo. I got you. And the reason why I brought that up, and I'm glad you're here. You can stay here. I'm not going. You're going to have front row seat for what I'm about to say.
Okay.
For those who don't know, I've been doing this for about, I want to say 6 months. And I've had success. And my success is based upon people that listen, people that tune in, people that have bought merchandise, people who support me, people who come into my DMs and shout nothing but encouragement, people who tell me to keep doing what I'm doing, people who are shocked that I'm doing what I'm doing in just a short period of time. A couple weeks ago, I was called a sellout. Because I got on somebody, I got on Bleeding Green Nation because they be tweeting out crazy shit, and I was like, and I made a tweet. I said, if you ever see me do any hot take shit like this just for reaction, selling out like this, let me know. And then somebody that I thought I was cool with, they was like, I thought you already did that. And I wanted to be clear, like, are you saying that I sell out? And they said that I sell out because I do parody accounts to get at media people for reaction. And number one, that caught me off guard because I'm like, I don't use burners. I use my own account. So it's me. Like, people who use burners to say what they quote unquote want to say, to me, that's being a coward. Like, I'm telling you, like, this is me. You don't have to fish. Like, it's me. I can't help it. You don't read. And I got a lot of feedback. I got a lot of people that came to my defense, and they was like, "No, that's not real Prince Blue. He doesn't sell out. Like, what are you talking about? Blah blah." And I say that to say this: in the 6 months, I have had ample opportunities to be with networks, to do things, lucrative chances to do things, and they have all went up in smoke. Why? Because I would not change the way I do things. Because I go at certain people and they didn't want me to do that anymore. And because I continue to do it, they couldn't do business with me. Now, if I was quote unquote selling out, I would have been like, yeah, I'll stop doing that. Where do I sign? No, because the reason why I started this podcast, because I used to bitch about radio all the time. And some people would say, they'd be like, hey, if you don't like the narrative, do your own shit or change, do something about it. And that's what I set out to do. So now my thing is I like to hold the media and those who have gotten comfortable accountable. The same way people hold me accountable. Like, believe me, I say a lot of things and some of them don't hit. And people come to me and they're like, hey, I don't like this. And I've either apologized or I've told them why I felt the way I did. And we had decent conversation. And then that'd be the end of it. So one thing that I will always take personal is somebody telling me I'm selling out and not being genuine, because whatever I like, you can ask any of my family. I'm pretty sure if anybody asks you, Alex, about you, like they will say that this is you. The person you present to me, that's Alex. She's not being this when she really doesn't have an issue with anybody else in the media. Everybody has been nice to her. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is me. Like, real Prince Blue, this is me. The parodies and stuff like that, trolling and doing all that, I do that here. Like, I call my wife and I'll act like I'm somebody else, or I'll try to trick her or something like that. That's just what I do. So be careful when you throw that word selling out, especially when I know for a fact I have sacrificed monetary opportunities, because I will not change the way I do things or how I think. Just be careful when you throw that around, especially to me, because I do take that personally. And it goes with the whole adage: when you start new, people like you, but then the moment you start getting a following, it's like now you're not cool anymore. It's like bands. Like when a band is obscure, like I'm gonna use the Sixers. When the Sixers were losing and stuff like that, Spike Eskin loved them. He loved the whole, here they come. Oh my God, Tony Rowan had 30 points, but we're 8-95 in the last 100 games. But when they started winning and then getting people, it's like, oh, I don't like the Sixers. Oh, Jimmy Butler sucks. And I hate that fact that just because you're popular or you're growing doesn't mean you're going to change who you are. You know what I'm saying? So I say all that to say, Alex, I'm talking to you in the beginning stages of what I believe is going to be a fantastic career. You have all the right things going on about yourself, and you're doing the best. Like, I reached out to you, like I was shocked, like I didn't even think you were going to respond back, because again, I've reached out to people who've had as many followers as you, blue checks, some not blue checks, and my shit is still sitting in DM unanswered, unread, whatever it is. But you got right back to me. You was like, yeah, sure, I can do it. And I just ask you to please keep that enthusiasm, keep that spirit that you have going forward. And I will always be here. Little old me, if you ever want to plug anything, say anything, get anything off your chest, I'm here. Just read the app. It's going to be me. And I say that to say thank you for coming on, and I appreciate everything. And I wish you all the best in 2021 going forward. And don't be a stranger.
Okay, I definitely won't. It's absolutely a pleasure to come on. I don't mind going on these shows, talking about anything and everything. I love to talk. I'm Italian. We already talked about this, but I do talk with my hands. I'm sure you see them going.
Yes, yes.
I do have a big following. I'm very thankful for that. But if I can use that to help promote other people and grow other people's shows, I'm more than glad to spend an hour, 2 hours talking to someone to help do that and promote that and retweet and whatever, just to help everyone get their name out there. I wouldn't be anything without the help of other people. I just booked a big job with Darius Slay. That wouldn't have happened had other people not helped me. So with all of the help that I'm getting from other people, I'm more than glad to help share the wealth and use my following to help anyone I can.
One last question.
Sure.
What was your favorite Real Time Prince Blue parody of 2020?
It's gotta be Anna Hotford. She definitely got under my skin. So her, yeah.
Oh my God, I got you good. I'm telling you, God, I bet you was pushing those buttons hard. Like, I can't believe this. But
I
wait a minute,
this
you
whole
even
thing.
text your friend asking it was him.
I was like, think, is that you? Like, why? Like, what is going on? He was like, no, it's not me. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, all right. I typed this whole thing like about women empowerment, like to you. And then I was like, that's not even her.
Did you send it? I'm trying to think. Did you send it?
I didn't send it.
Oh, I was this close. I was this close.
I always fall for that stuff. I'm the most gullible person on the planet.
Aw, don't. Yeah, it happens. Read the ad, Alex. Read the ad. But everybody, thank you. This has been Real Time with Prince Blue. I got more stuff coming. I just had Alex. I got Michael Kiss coming up, and then I have the Barbell Barbies. I am Jess Allen and Britt Lifts coming on. That's gonna be fun because I know people don't like them, and I don't give a shit because I think they're funny and I like them, and they're coming on. So bring your asses. We're gonna have fun. Thank you. 2021 going forward, I'm just gonna continue to push out more content and give you more real stuff, tackle more issues, have fun, do whatever. I'm out. I don't have outro music. I'm broke. I can't afford any. So sign off. See you later, fuckers. Bye. All right, Alex, stay there. I'm